Hey everyone, we are Bean Bagel. We are a married couple from the Midwest in the U.S. I'm from Michigan. She's from Minnesota. Together we normally talk about food on our channel, but today we are continuing our series in the Us Journal. This is a book for couples to go through and answer questions and see how compatible they are. And we are continuing on page 16 with the partner qualities, so what you desire in a partner based on the questions. That's not really questions, but topics that they give you. You rate them from 1 to 10. So 10 is it's very important that you have this in a partner. 1 is it's not that important for you to have it in a partner. The one that we left off on is religiosity.
That's a mouthful.
I know.
So, for me, I think it is very important, and I would probably give it like an 8, just because I think that you can't be on like opposite ends of the spectrum with religion. You know, if you want to go to church every Sunday and your partner doesn't, could be a problem, or if they're an atheist, you're a strong Christian. You know, I just don't think that would make like a super long-lasting relationship. However, I don't think that you need to completely align on every little tiny thing. So I'd probably give it like an 8, like to put a number on it, because I think that there's always going to be minute differences, like even within the same religion. So I think an 8, you know, you agree on like big things, but there might be slight little things that, you know, you're not quite eye to eye on, but I think that's okay.
So I gave it a 7, so I'm 1 notch below her, so I must not be as religious.
Must not be.
A 7, the reason why I said it is because I do think it's important that people have some sort of, or at least a partner for me, have a some sort of religious discipline, I guess you could say. You know, I believe in God, and at the very least, I want my partner to believe in God. But I'm also not the type of religious person that, you know, I think you should pray a certain amount of times in a day, or you should light 25 different candles, and if you don't, you fail, or anything like that, because I'm more of a believer that if God is living, then it's almost like a marriage where there is communication, there's me sharing my feelings, my opinions, me asking my questions, him telling me what he thinks is best, and all that kind of stuff. So some sort of an awareness that there is a God, I guess you could say, that wants to do the best for us, if that makes sense. That's a very short answer to a very long answer I could give. So, you know, there's a lot more in depth to that, but I'm just going to keep it there. So I gave it a 7.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I like it.
Good, because she's my wife.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is political leanings. So between 1 and 10.
I think for this one, I could see being like a 7. Again, I think it's good to align on like some of the major things, but I think that you can still like keep an open mind if someone isn't exactly on the same page with every little thing, because I think that's healthy for each person to have their own like opinions and beliefs, and like I think you have to have an understanding of like how the person got to have the political leaning that they do. Like if you understand their motivation and their heart behind what their feelings are, I think that helps a lot. And you can like still be compatible without being compatible with every issue, you know. But I think there are some major ones though that you should have commonality on that will help in building like a lasting relationship. So that's why I would think like a 7. Yeah.
Well, again, I said 5 is what I think. So the reason why I say that is because I look at it from 1 to 10, meaning politics are not that important to you and politics are very important to you. And to me, I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. Like, I want to be aware of what's going on, but I don't believe that politicians really have the best interests at heart for many people. So I don't put a lot of stock in politicians who are seeking votes, and they're hard to trust, basically. So from a partner standpoint, though, like, I would prefer a partner who also is 50%, where you kind of understand where each side's coming from. You're able to listen to each side and understand, have your own opinions, obviously, and feelings and convictions, like you said, but have a balance of being able to understand both sides instead of being completely one-sided, I guess you could say. I prefer a partner that I can talk to about things, not just argue with someone. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I think it's like you don't want someone that's like so extreme to one side or the other. Like, you prefer them to just kind of be like open-minded.
Yeah, because I kind of think someone who's a 10, this is just me thinking, and I don't mean this so literally, but I kind of picture someone who's a 10 is almost like you either do what I believe or you don't, and you can't almost be your own person, and that just doesn't sit right with me. I have a hard time with that.
I agree. I think it would be hard to be around someone that's like, I'm so extreme, or like, you have to be the exact same as me, or I'll, I don't think that would be good to be around.
Yeah, and I think people come, to their own beliefs for their own reasons, and I think that stuff's interesting to learn. So
and I think you have to have someone that's willing to learn that, because there are a lot of people that will just write someone off who might have a different political leaning without understanding like how they came to that conclusion, because I think that's really where like you learn like, oh, that makes sense, given their experience. So yeah.
All right, so the third one is honesty, between 1 and 10.
I mean, I think it's probably a 10. I mean, I think you want honesty, I guess there might be times when you don't need like the brutal honesty, like maybe you just need like a truth, but it's like nicely delivered, I guess. But I think in general, honesty is like extremely important, so I'll say 10, but maybe in certain situations like a 9.
So I said a 9, not because I don't think it's as important as a 10, but in my mind, I think it's a 9 because it's my job to get my partner to a 10. So, like, what I mean by that is I want someone who's completely transparent with me all the way up to a 9, but I believe that it's my job to garner enough trust, I guess, in a sense, so that they want to be a 10 with me and be completely honest with me. It's hard for me to imagine having a partner just be a 10 right from the jump, and throughout the course of our relationship, and not take any responsibility myself for whether they are completely honest with me or not. So that's just the way I think.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I like that answer.
So, all right. On to the fourth one, and that's communication, and this is the last one we're going to do today.
So, communication, I feel like these are all, like, important, like, pretty, like, big important, but I think, I think that, for communication, like, it could be, like, a 9, because I think that, it's something that you should strive to be really good at, but it doesn't mean that you are. And I think that you can't expect somebody to be at a 10, like, all the time, like, because that would just be unrealistic, because I feel like we're human beings and we, like, miscommunicate a lot. And so I think it's, like, it's very important to me and, like, to most people, but I think, like, it just feels unreasonable for me to say, like, 10, like, communicate, because I think it's just not, like, realistic in a relationship, but I don't know.
Well,
What do you
I,
have to
I
say?
said it's a 10. I believe it is a 10. But I could see it as a 9 for similar reasons as what I said about honesty. Um, but the reason why I landed on believing that it's a 10 is because we literally rely on communication to understand where someone's coming from. Like, whether that's verbal, nonverbal, whatever. Like, I can't read someone's mind. I can't predict or tell them what they feel without them actually communicating to me what it is exactly that they're feeling or experiencing. And so, like, I feel like I landed on 10 for that reason. On the flip side of that, I believe it's a 10. I expect a 10 of myself, I think, too, because, like, it would be unfair for me to expect you to know everything I'm thinking and feeling if I don't communicate it, or if I don't, help you understand it. So
Yeah, that's true. I like that answer too.
Okay. Apparently, I'm giving good answers today. So,
Yes.
But that's all we have for today, I believe, right? You don't have anything else to add?
No, that's it.
All right. So that's what we got for you today, and we'll see you in the next video when we do it. Have a good one.
See ya.